That's Wina, the tribal chief. Let's head over to him.
Emotional support is important.
Chaska.
Nice to see you again, Wina. I'm afraid we don't have time for pleasantries, so I'll get right to it. We're here for the Spirit Speaker Stone.
Whoa, hold on a second. At least
My friend Kachina is trapped within the Night Kingdom. We need the stone.
rescue her. From the Night King?
That's right.
I'm sorry, but someone needs to tell you what you don't want to hear. Going there, a mature warrior would never make such a foolish decision. The nature of battle is unpredictable. You never know how it's going to end. Losing a friend is tragic, but when that happens...
I appreciate what you're trying to say, Chief Wina. But if the price of maturity is abandoning a friend in need, I'll choose foolishness any day. If Kachina's still holding on, then...
I thought you might say that.
Is something wrong, Wina? Life isn't complete without taking risks. That's always been your...
It's nothing. The Night Kingdom is a dangerous place. If you're that determined, far be it from me to stop you. Here's the stone. Keep it safe, okay?
Thank you.
Huh. Seems like you two go way back. But aren't you from...
Oh, Chaska's a peacekeeper, so she's famous throughout the tribes. She's always the one people call to resolve conflicts. Her younger sister Quichi's always hanging around our tribe, too. She's helped us out a lot in the past.
Oh, you have a younger sister?
Yes, I'll introduce you to her sometime. But let's get back to business. Wina, how do we use the stone?
As you probably know, your intended destination is completely different from the real world. The Night Kingdom is like a river flowing with concepts. In that sense, the stone is like a fishing boat drifting down the river. But the boat alone isn't enough. You need a fisherman.
We couldn't do that ourselves.
With a little practice, I'm sure you could. You have the strength and the talent. If you want to make...
Who?
Vichama, a legendary warrior and scout from our tribe. He's got a keen eye and a well-honed intuition. Even his ancient name means to seek, if you're fishing for a name.
Bichama? Why does that name sound...
He's one of Auntie Atea's hot spring buddies. I've heard stories about... Where can we find him?
Ever since Malco passed, he spends most of his time gazing out at the scenery from the cliff tops. Follow the path that way, and I'm sure you'll find him.
Thank you. We'll go...
Good luck. I hope...
Yeah! Got her!
Someone admiring the scenery from the cliff tops. Ah! That must be him! Hello there, are you Vichama?
That's me. Did you need something? What? You're saying you can bring someone back from the Night Kingdom? How is that even possible? No, if you really think about it, anything's possible in that kind of place. But that would mean...
Are you okay? You don't look so good.
Everything's fine. I'll help you, but I do have a small request. After I help you find Kachina's ancient name, I want to use the stone to look for my friends as well.
Your friend? Oh, why not mention someone named Malco? Is that who you're talking about?
Yes, but I'd rather not get into it if it's all the same to you.
That's not a problem. We agree to your request.
Yeah. Since you're helping us find Kachina's ancient name, It's only right that...
Then we're agreed. I see. From what I can tell, it functions almost like an abyssal pylon. Both connect the Night Kingdom to the living. Once the connection is established, the abyss will come surging through the opening like a predator honing in on the scent of blood. So we have to be sure not to use it in a
Wow, you got all that just from looking at it?
I just picked up on the basics, really. I still have no idea why it works. You said someone named Lali invented this. They must... I'll go find an open area and start setting things up. In the meantime, I need you to get 2 things for me.
We'll go right away. What do you need?
First, I'll need some hook ropes. Pretty much every store around here carries them, so no need to go anywhere special. Oh, and I need to build a net out of them, so make sure you get a good amount.
Wait, are you saying you're going to use a real net to catch Kachina's ancient name? How does that work when one's tangible and one's not?
By creating something tangible in our world, like a net, we can create a connection to a corresponding concept in the Night Kingdom. Basically, I'm going to use the concept of a net to catch something equally intangible. An ancient...
Oh, I see. What about the second thing you needed?
Right. I need one... Normally, you can only get obsidian from the Children of Echoes. But I heard there's a traveling merchant from that tribe around here somewhere, so...
Gotcha!
Alright, let's split up. See that clearing? Let's meet... Oh, and you can send someone with me if you want. In case you're worried I might take the stone for myself.
What do you think, Chaska?
There's no need. Lena spoke highly.
I appreciate it. Even though that doesn't... Anyway, it'll take some time to set everything up, so no need to rush.
What an odd guy. He seems so defeated, but also really invested in the stone at the same time.
I don't have any more insight than you, Paimon. Let's just focus on... Hang on, Kachina. Hello. Do you have any hook ropes for sale?
Hook ropes? As in rock climbing equipment?
Yes. How much for your whole...
Oh, the whole thing? Let me see.
Deal.
Wait.
What, you want me to drive down the price?
No problem at all. I'll even pass along some information on the house. These ropes are usually used by rock climbing enthusiasts. If you want to learn, rope... Alright. That's...
Now we need the obsidian. Let's go talk to the traveling merchant Bichama mentioned.
Excuse me, do you sell obsidian?
Why, yes. I've got a chunk for sale right over there.
Perfect. Is that the...
That might be tough. Tell you what, I'll take a look through these boxes.
Thank you so much.
Relax. Everything's going...
I know, it's just... I could tell Vichama feels the same way about his friend that I do about Kachina always carries all sorts of shiny stones with her. If I was the one trapped in the Night Kingdom, she'd have a whole pile...
Well, would you look at that? I did bring an extra. Here you go, young lady.
Perfect! Thank you.
If you hadn't shown up, these stones would have just sat here collecting dust. Here you go. By the way, I heard you mention... How's he doing? Malco's been gone for 5 years now.
Do you know what happened between them?
I heard about it in passing while I was out drinking one night. But I don't know all the details. Bichama and Malco grew up together. Malko was an amazing fighter, capable of knocking out multiple opponents in a single hit, while Vichama excelled at scouting. 5 years ago, they both emerged triumphant in the pilgrimage and were placed on the same. But on the eve of battle, the Abyss launched an attack on their tribe, and Vichama suffered an injury to his leg while attempting to rescue.
Then what happened?
The team agreed that he couldn't fight the Abyss. Vichama didn't argue. He knew going to the front lines with an injured leg would make him a burden in battle. So they raised the issue with the Pyro Archon. It's just... Malko and the others ended up facing hordes of abyssal monsters in numbers that far exceeded, and Vichama went into a deep depression after that. He blames himself for everything. Oh, you're not wrong. But it's possible he chooses to blame himself. I've tried convincing him to move forward. The Abyss has caused so much suffering, and some wounds never... Anyway, that's the gist of it. Maybe you could help.
Whoosh!
Did you get everything?
Yep, it's all here.
I've made all the necessary adjustments. As agreed, I'll help you find Kachina's ancient name. Go ahead. After Malko fell, I scoured the battlefield to see what happened. It turned out he wasn't bested by some impossibly powerful foe. He was dragged to his grave by the sheer... If I had been there, I would have been able to sense the danger. I could have warned them not to advance. I've always blamed myself for what happened. But when you told me about Kachina...
But that happened. The Pyro Archon said all life within the Night Kingdom eventually becomes one with the Sea of Souls.
There might not be much hope, but I still have to try. Malko and I promised each other, even... All right, let's get to it. I'll start searching for the conceptualized version of Kachina's ancient name. If you see any fragments scattered around... Make sure you prepare yourselves for battle. As I said, the stone will link the mortal realm to the...
Look at that golden thing. It must be one of those fragments Vichama mentioned. Let's get closer. Did you know that the sound of thunder is the prelude to new life? Soon, this land will be brimming with vitality. to memory. Look at her. Rest and rebuild. You, Blade, you're up. Grow. Life lasts forever.
How much longer, Vichama?
Not long. We're getting close.
Vichama!
Quick, take it! I found Kachina's ancient name. Hang in there, Malco. Just a little longer.
Something's not right. The power of the Abyss is...
The Abyss is corroding his body.
I should have died 5 years. I just need a little more time. Please, I'm almost there. Thank you.
Whoa, watch out! The power of the Abyss is strong.
This power...
Hanging in there?
Malco. No, why can't I?
We can't wait any longer. Hope...
I already tried, but the power of the Abyss has him in a chokehold. It's like he's tied to the stone with an
In that case, we have no choice. Get back!
Chaska, wait!
Ouch! What happened just now? It looked like
The stone's power was spiraling out of control. You were all caught in the shockwave of the explosion. You might feel...
Give us a heads up next time, will you? You're lucky.
I thought I said to get back.
Yeah, barely a second before you made it go poof. Not everyone has your reflexes, Chaska. We were
Okay, I'll be more careful.
At least Kachina's ancient name is still in one piece. Wait. Vichama!
Vichama!
I couldn't find Malco's ancient name. Once your ancient name disappears, there's no coming back. From the very beginning, and now...
Vichama.
I'm sure he's heard enough condolences over the years.
Huh? What's that in your hands, Vichama?
Huh? This is...
Hey, Malco. God. Not enough to swing a sword, but to say a few last words. Too bad. No one will get to hear them. I never thought I'd actually die on this mission. Not that I'm afraid to die. Guess I have something to be thankful for then. My parents died a long... Pisak! Always had to beat me at everything, didn't you? Right to the end, you were never one for goodbyes. Maybe you're right. Maybe no one will get to hear... Vichama. Don't be sad. Just keep on living. For the both of us.
Was that?
Seems like we were able to salvage something after all.
Of course. Seeing him, Hearing, but
A deeper...
Malco was always the type to put on a brave face. But in that memory just now, for all these years, I regretted not being able to fight alongside him to the end.
Bichama.
I'm fine. Actually, I heard Chief Wina wasn't really on. When you asked for my help, I hesitated too. I knew helping you find your friend's ancient name meant leading you one, but I also understood why you had to try. Once allowed to fester, guilt strips us of our most valuable qualities as warriors. In that sense, we might as well choose the braver path from the very beginning. If I could do it all over again, I would have followed Malco to the front lines no matter what, even with an injured. That way, even if the outcome stayed the same, there are critical junctures in life. And if you don't see, that's something I had to learn in hindsight. But you're still at the cross.
Thank you, Vichama. I feel even more determined. I promised I would find her, and
That's good to hear.
Once abyssal corrosion enters the body, a portion will fuse itself to your internal organs. Even though the Traveler possesses powers of Thanks to him, though, you were only briefly exposed. Slowing your breathing and controlling your emotions should help you keep the symptoms in... Just speaking from experience, that's all.
Anyway, we've recovered Kachina's ancient name, so we're off to a great start. Oh, and apologize for destroying the spirit speaker
Koichi, are you really gonna just stand there like that?
I think you know exactly what I'm trying to say, Uncle Wina. I can hear it in—
Honestly, it's just one thing after another with you. They're back.
Koichi? What are you...
Don't play dumb with your own sister. You know exactly why I'm— My apologies, everyone. I just need to borrow Tosca for a few minutes. You come with me.
I'll be just a moment.
Who is that?
Koichi, Chaska's younger sister. Although the two aren't actually related by blood, it's kind of a long story. It's not really my story to tell, but I guess it's not a secret. You see, she was afflicted with a rare disease when she was a child, and abandoned in the wild as a result. The Abyss found her out there, all on her own, and tried to devour her. But in the end, all that did was trigger her will to live. That strength of will pushed her to survive. But it also planted a seed of conflict within her. Eventually, she was adopted by the Cuckoo Source. Wherever they went, she followed, getting into fights right and left.
For some reason, Paimon can totally...
Well, when Chaska finally returned to human society, it was Koichi's parents who adopted her. At the time, Chaska still had a habit of getting into fights, so...
I remember those days. One of those fights was definitely with me. But, you know, kids. Eventually, she found a way to rein in that desire to fight. And now she's who people call to resolve conflicts. It sounds like she still argues with Koichi, though. Don't siblings usually stop fighting?
That's partly my fault. Koichi asked me to stop Chaska from doing anything dangerous, but you probably...
Oh, I get it. No wonder you tried to talk...
I'm all for your adventure. You need to take risks when you're young, because by the time you're my age, you couldn't attempt something like that even if you wanted. Still, I can understand where Koichi's coming from. In the end, nobody wants to sit...
All right, it's just the two of us now. You have one...
I don't have anything to say. You don't have to approve, but you should...
That attitude is exactly the problem. It's like you don't care. You try to sneak off to the Night Kingdom behind my back and then play it down as if it's just a trip abroad.
Well, technically I am going abroad, right?
Again with the excuses! We agreed, didn't we? There are 4 levels of danger. If it's not something urgent, you can only engage in level 2 danger and below. You can only go up to level 3 if a situation is so dire that... But a trip to the Night Kingdom? If that's not a level 4, I don't know what is! And you were just going to sneak into the place with...
What do you mean, sneak into the place? I always planned on walking in there with my head held.
You bought off Uncle Wina, didn't you? He promised me he'd stop you from doing anything dangerous.
You feel like he went back on his word. What if I told you my mind was made up, and there was nothing he could have done? Not...
Oh, I knew it! So he did try to say something, but you didn't...
This is important. If you were in my shoes, you'd make...
You don't know that? I'm a doctor, and I handle logistics. If you're going to waltz into a dangerous situation where you could lose control at any moment, it's my...
All right, whatever.
You... What do you mean, anything else?
Time out. Is this one of our normal arguments or a serious one?
Chaska, does it sound like I'm joking?
Then... you need to know something. What happened to Kachina...
But the person you become when you lose control,
That's a different issue. You said it yourself. A person is only as good as their morals. If I want to live in Natlan, I need to display qualities that make me...
I've also told you that managing your condition is...
Sometimes you have to make sacrifices. All right, let's stop this here. If we keep going, I might actually have to get serious. And I think Wina prefers his roof attached to his house.
Is that a threat? That sounds like a threat to me.
Koichi! Younger sisters are supposed to...
So, you're really going to go, no matter what I...
Then support me. I'll be back.
So, that's it. Why'd you have...
You two.
Something you wanted to say?
I know you aren't related by blood.
Really?
You know, I said that very thing to Koichi not too long ago, and she reacted the exact same way. That's not my place to get involved. But I will say this. Try to spend a little more time with your sister.
Thank you.
Anytime. Alright. If you're done with the Spirit Speaker Stone, you might as well hand it up according to Kinich. It's an important ceremonial artifact.
If only Tonegif Bard was here, he could have repaired...
It might be in a few more pieces than you remember.
Huh? I see. Sounds like it was... Still, Citlali's going to be a nightmare to deal with now that you've broken her stuff. Stay safe out there in the Night Kingdom, okay?
Ad Ast... Ad Astra... Thank you for complete...
You might want to get a guide if you're not familiar.
Yaya Publishing House has released numerous works that lay out military strategy in a simple and pragmatic way. Those are my favorite.
We're back! We found Kachina's ancient name
Well, it's fairly complicated. Let me give you the condensed version.
The Fatui again? We can't go anywhere without them causing trouble.
But what if the Fatui finds out you've lost your power? Won't they try?
That's why it has to be our little... Look, I wish I could offer you some sort of consolation, but I won't lie to you. With multiple factions closing in, there's nothing still. All you need to do is focus.
I can also step in on the Pyro Archon's behalf. There's a limit to what I can accomplish, but I'll help you however I can.
There's no need to be so modest, Yan-san. Your incredible strength...
Archon, I'm sorry about before. You have so much on your plate. So much that you have to worry about.
You have nothing to be sorry about. We all get overwhelmed by our emotions, myself included. Well, now that we have Kachina's ancient name, let's go track her down.
What is this place? Hey, isn't that Atea's talisman?
Good eye. This is where I store all the various mementos I've collected.
Whoa. I've never seen this place before.
It looks like there are items from every tribe.
I suppose you could think of it as a hobby of sorts. In Natlan, everyone grows, and physical items do a far better job of preserving those stories than our own memory. Now, I still have some preparations to make for the ceremony, so feel free to take a look around in the meantime. If you're curious about an item, I'm more than willing to tell you about its origins.
Alright, we'll have a look. Hey, there's a fishing rod here. It must have
That's right. It belongs to a legendary fisherman named Matavaru. He and I met in a tavern. He told me about a particular kind of giant in his eyes. I saw a hunger and a strong fighting spirit.
So, did he do it?
The next time I saw him, he was covered in scars. It turned out he managed to kill the fish, but sustained a serious injury in the process, which meant he could never. Can a fisherman claim victory if he fails to bring back his catch?
Well, Paimon thinks he won.
That was my answer as well. The experience was far more valuable than the prize itself. In the end, he didn't want his tools to go to waste, so he gave them to me.
Wait, that means you also—
Maybe we can go head-to-head sometime.
This is Atea's talisman.
I'm sure you're familiar with this one already. Atea was rarely ever without.
There are so many jars and potions around here.
No, those belong to the Masters of the Nightwind. They're ceremonial tools used to amplify the ability to communicate with the night. Yamaya is an expert in this field, and she taught me a lot. The tools you see here are quite traditional. Her students found them outdated, so she passed. The contents of the jars aren't all that special. Oh, except the big jar in the middle. That's what she really wanted to give me.
Ooh, must be something really cool. What's inside?
Grape juice.
Huh?
It's quite tasty, although probably expired by now.
Whoa, that belt is bigger than Paimon's head!
The Collective of Plenty are known for their bodybuilding competitions and contests of the association with strength might also have been the reason the original belt was extremely heavy. And even if a warrior had the strength to put it on, wearing it for any length of time would still—
Sounds like it.
So the owner of the original belt, Katera, commissioned a craftsman to make a copy identical in appearance but far lighter, and he would often wear this version when training in order to protect his weight.
Or he made a lighter version so he could wear it all the time.
The powder still needs some time to settle. Well, what do you think of my collection?
Yeah! If each item represents a different story. Seems like now... Does every item hold a special memory? Just like a...
That's right. The items in my collection actually serve a similar purpose to the ancient. They demonstrate the true...
The shape of...
Most people perceive time as a linear concept, almost like a straight line that can only move forward. But there's also a different theory, one that I believe to be closer to the truth. Namely...
At once? Paimon's not sure she...
Let's say your journey ended right now. Thinking back on your experience in each nation, which one would you say was the most? Exactly. Even at the end of your journey, the things you experienced along the way don't cease to exist. Take out a portion of that journey, and you would likely make very different decisions, and eventually arrive at the future is the same way. It exists even though it has yet to come. Of course, there are those with the power to foresee the future. They simply call it by a different name. Fate.
That does kinda make sense.
Humanity excels at living in the present, but too often we forget the past and neglect the future. While the pilgrimage and the Night Warden Wars lead us to a... Only by uniting the people of Natlan across countless eras can we fight back against an enemy. To come up with such a set of rules, the first Pyro Archon must have possessed a level of insight I can only imagine. That's correct. At first, he was a mortal man with no special power. After he ascended to the Divine Throne, he used it to borrow power from the heavens and establish the rules of Natlan. Namely, a framework through which ordinary people, by holding the pilgrimage, were able to determine the strongest among us. And when that person ascends, in addition, the sacred flame will grant them significant knowledge and memory of this land.
So, it all comes down to the power of the Divine Throne and the... Wait, is that a family portrait?
Yes. That's my mother, father, younger sister, and the little saurians we raised. I turned a piece of my dad's leather armor into a canvas and commissioned a famous artist to paint our likeness.
Your sister is so cute! Look, Paimon was having a hard time thinking of an Archon as an ordinary person, but it really doesn't look like there was anything special about you before.
A little late for that question, don't you?
Sorry! Paimon's so sorry! Paimon's mouth worked!
It's all right. No matter what others may say, my past is a precious part of my identity. Becoming the Archon doesn't mean you sever ties with your family. The position just comes with a lot of responsibilities. My father made the most delicious stew, so my sister would often bring me a large pot of his cooking, and he would sit on a blanket. One time, we didn't close the door securely, and the saurians we were raising ran into the room and knocked over the... My sister immediately burst into tears. The two troublemakers were going for the meat. I still remember the way they laid there, sulking like a pair of children, even after making such a mess. It was frustrating, but in the end...
Wow.
Isn't that what being a family is all about? As the Archon, I made a vow to defend this nation, and experiences like that, they remind me...
Well, what happened after that? This portrait looks pretty old. Your sister...
I believe she ended up working as an architect and artist. She built many houses. Anyway, that's enough about me. Now that the powder is settled, we can begin. Place the ancient name up there, and then we'll begin. Surely as the echoes of life resound through heaven and earth, so too shall our stories remain eternal. Ancient name, take us to your fated bearer. Allow her to answer...
Am I hallucinating again?
Kachina! Are you...
Huh? I'm not seeing things, am I? It's okay, Kachina. It's just us. We're trying to find a way to bring you back.
Everyone, you have to listen to me. I've been investigating the Night Kingdom this entire time, and I figured out what's wrong. I was waiting for the Y-Up to send me back, but then this really strong monster came in. The Y-Up saved me, even though its power is weakening. So I've been hiding from the monsters while trying to find a way to help. The Night Kingdom has become a huge mess, though. I keep hearing these awful sounds.
Don't listen to those sounds, Kachina. The Abyss is trying to strip you of your sanity. All you need to do is stay safe and wait for us. We'll be—
It's okay. I feel so much better now that I've had the chance to talk. I've never been strong or special at all, really. So I don't blame anyone for forgetting about me or leaving me behind. I'll find a way back. You don't have to put yourselves in danger to come rescue.
You're always like this, Kachina. Now's not the time to act tough. I don't know what lies the Abyss has been feeding you, but I'll tell you something right now. Nobody hears you're a victor of the Night Warden Wars, a hero of Natlan. All you need to do is wait for us to rescue you.
I'm really scared. Still, I don't want you to put yourselves in danger because of me.
All you need to do is place your trust in us. No one fights alone. We're not leaving you behind. Not ever.
Yeah, we're so close. We can't call it quits.
Thank you. Be careful.
Looks like we've lost contact. Now comes the most dangerous part. This entrance to the Night Kingdom was left behind after an abyssal invasion. Even a brief amount of time inside could expose—
I know. I'm prepared for—
All right. Then I wish you all the best. I'll tell Koichi to be ready just in case. She's very experienced in dealing with that face you just made. Don't tell me you—
No, I just feel bad.
I'll go with them too, Archon. The more people—
Thank you so much for your help, everyone. It really means a lot that you're willing to brave these—
Now that I've lost my power, I won't be able to provide much practical support. But I can still keep an eye on the situation. Eon-san, I know it's unlikely, but if you encounter a situation
That won't happen.
I hope not. Be careful out there.
So we're underneath Natlan right now? It looks
That's because in the distant past, Natlan was home to an incredibly advanced civilization. Humans only established their own society after the fall of the dragon.
So these are Saurian ruins? Wait, you mean like the elemental sovereigns? They had their own advantage.
Yes, a really long time ago. Very few records have survived until now, so these ruins have been abandoned for a long time. But with the recent increase in Abyss activity, the installations around here have somehow been activated.
So what you're saying is, we're not in for an easy...
No. It's going to be obstacle after obstacle from here on out.
Why are you all laughing?
It's the pre-adventure excitement kicking in!
Of course. I'm eager to get started.
Then let's go. We won't let anything stick.
Seems like the road ends here. How should we get across?
As a professional trainer, I think you could stand to build up your endurance, Paimon.
Professional trainer? Paimon thought you were a warrior from the Collective of Planning.
Well, that goes without saying. But I actually work as a sports coach. I provide professional guidance for many of Natlan's popular sports. And I don't just mean physical training. I design nutrition plans as well.
Ah, so basically no sugar, no soft drinks, no grilled meat.
Yeah, we'll be here all day if you list them out one by one. It's much faster to just focus on what's good for you.
Those guys look familiar.
We've fought them before. Let's go. Show no mercy.
Ha! Illusion shattered.
Out of the frying pan, into the fire!
No, my sword! Ring cutter! There is no escape! Let's light it up! I'm going in! Now you shall perish!
Whoa, the place we need to go seems really high up.
Shine down! No, my sword! Let me weave you a verse. Everybody stand back! Let's...
Eat this!
Inazuma shines eternal! There is no escape!
Nice and spicy!
Radiant rain outlines your fate.
Connection shattered! I'm going in! Let's light it up!
You're toast!
Torn to oblivion!
Witness the power of the wild. Rain outline. Everybody stand back!
Get them!
There is no escape! Now you shall perish! This is the final stretch. We just need to climb up, and we'll be there. Nothing to it.
Easy for you to say.
This must be the entrance the Pyro Archon told us about. The one ripped open by the...
Yes. There's something in the depth.
We actually have to go. Okay, Paimon just needs to psych herself up. Don't push her through before... Hey! You don't have to drag Paimon! You're pulling too hard!
Looks like we made it. This is the Night Kingdom.
It looks so different from what
That overflow of energy is probably what trapped Kachina here in the...
From this point forward, everything we know about the real world no longer applies.
Paimon's more worried about how we're gonna make it out. The obvious...
Do you see that patch of light on the ground? It's shining down from that fissure.
Oh yeah, right in front of us. So that's coming from up there? Oh, it's...
Just like I said, our real-world knowledge doesn't apply here. We fell all this way, yet came out complete. If this was the real world, we'd have to climb our way back up to the entrance. But here, all we have to do is stand underneath the light.
That's it? Right. We still gotta do...
So that means all we need to do is find Kachina and bring her to this...
Exactly. This light is streaming in from the real world. It's a link between the two.
The terrain looks difficult to navigate, and the visibility's not great either.
Yeah, these floating black things don't look super friendly either.
Those are all manifestations of abyssal power. Be careful.
Ghost! A talking ghost!
Calm down, I'm here to help. You're the ones who helped Vichama, right? Yes, I'm Vichama's friend, Malko. I was completely lost to this realm until I sensed a mysterious power. It's like it was seeking me out, attempting to reassemble the pieces of who I used to be. I'm sorry I can only appear before you.
No, we should be the ones apologizing. If the Spirit Speaker's stone hadn't become corrupted by the Abyss, but we had to destroy it. Otherwise, Vichama and his tribe would have been in
Of course. Thank you for protecting him. Under the power of the stone, it felt like our souls were connected. Turns out even our regrets were
Whether in triumph or death, you want your...
Exactly. That may not be in the cards for us, but you're looking for a young girl from the Children of Echoes, right? She's being chased by an embodiment of abyssal power. I'd like to help her while I'm still in this form. Be careful. This place has been severely
Paimon didn't realize it had gotten this bad.
It's like a seething volcano ready to engulf our world at any moment.
Ouch!
Get back here! You can't go wandering. Stick close to me. My power will be able to ward off attacks for the time being. We won't be able to keep this up. Let's try another route. This way. Not good. More monsters.
We shouldn't waste our time on them.
Out of the frying pan, into the fire! Eat this!
Ring cutter! No, my sword! Inazuma shines eternal! Off we go!
Oh, Paimon can't see anything!
It's easy to get lost here. Just stick close.
Did you hear that?
What?
Never mind. It was
Don't scare Paimon like...
I heard it too.
What did it say?
It doesn't matter. It certainly doesn't harbor good intent.
Paimon just heard it too! Let's keep going. Paimon wants to get out of this place!
We're here, Kachina!
Oh, honey?
Looks like our reunion will have to wait until we take care of these monsters.
Good idea. Let's go! Spin to win!
Everybody stand back! Let's witness the power of Gugwa! Know my sword! Illusion shattered!
You're here! You're finally here! Thank you so much! That monster can appear from anywhere! It almost caught me a bunch of times. The YF's power helped keep me hidden, so I just tried to stay out of sight until you—
Had a girl. You did so well.
Should we start heading back then?
Actually, I have a request. I can't exactly put it into words, but something's—
That was the Pyro Archon's theory as well. Everything we—
In the Night Kingdom, there are 6 main totem poles, representing the Wyab of each tribe. You can think of them like the body of each Wyab. Additional totem poles, like the ones around here, serve as proxies to which the Wyab can extend their consciousness. There are countless proxies scattered around the Night Kingdom. Through them, the Wyab can extend their consciousness over the entire realm. But if a proxy were to become severely contaminated, then a soul could become lost within the Night.
Judging by the current situation, I don't think we're dealing with just one contaminated proxy. Even if we could drive back the abyssal power from one of them, that probably wouldn't even...
Still, we can't just leave the Y-Up to suffer.
I agree. We might even manage to draw out the monster. Getting rid of the monster might slow down the deterioration of...
Kachina? What's...
Nothing. Just a headache.
Maybe we really should leave. Kachina's already been...
No, I'm fine. I don't plan on listening to that nonsense. Just up ahead. I'll lead the way. Besides...
Listen to me, Kachina. We'll come with you. But that's because we want to help the Y. You don't have anything to prove either. It's okay if you reach your limit.
All right. The sooner we get this done, the better.
We've already come all this way. So we might as well try to get...
Let's go. This way.
I'll stay here and try to stall the Abyss monster.
All by yourself? That's too...
It's all right. I may not be as strong as that monster, but I'm definitely... I don't have much time left. If you're anything like my friend, I'm sure you're not So go. Achieve your goal.
Thank you for everything.
You're true...
No one...
Does your head still hurt? Let me help you walk.
I'm fine. You should know I'm made of stronger stuff than that. Y-Up, I'm back. My friends and I are here to heal you. Y-Up.
So we were right. The contamination is already too severe. All right, get ready, everyone. Time to purge the abyssal energy from this place.
Careful. We've got company.
Already?
You really think that puny soul could slow me down? Courage in the face of you. He tried to get in my way. He would have dispersed with or without me. Rather than worrying about him, you may have defeated others of my kind in the past, but underestimate me now. No, the power of the Abyss is intoxicating. The destruction it seeks captivates like a masterful work of art. I strive only for the... I thought this naive little girl was an exception, but it turns out humanity is full of That is the tragedy of your short lives. You understand ancient names, pride, friendship, all empty ideas invented to get... The Pyro Archon created those grandiose ideals out of pure selfishness. Anything to avoid sharing power. Don't believe me? Then ask yourself, why is the Pyro Archon strong beyond measure, while you, Kachina...
Kachina! Give me your hand. Feel that? I'm right here next to you.
Thanks, Moalani. You're right. I have nothing to fear. Because I'm not alone anymore!
You're right. Maybe comforting ideals don't have any power. But you also couldn't be more wrong. You've never had to work for your own strength.
What?
The courage we have to stand before you and not back down? The power lies not, but in our commitment to upholding that ideal. And in our
Well said!
Let's go, Kachina. It shouldn't take more than 2 of us to handle an enemy like this.
Sorry in advance, but you...
There aren't many in Natlan who can beat us when we're together.
From the ash?
Right here!
You will let the flames of redemption burn!
Carving waves! Surf's up! Amazing!
The tide of
Let's go, Twirly!
coming!
Get back! Let's shred, Sharky!
what he gets for underestimating you two.
Fantastic work, Kachina. Absolutely. This makes me so... I'm happy too, Mualani. Together we really are unstoppable.
Huh? My ancient name is glowing? But I thought I didn't bring it with me.
It's probably a projection from the real world. But that doesn't explain why...
Wait, does that mean...
That was a bold move, diving headfirst into the fire to save your friend, especially in a place so overrun. Still, seeing you pull it off, everything you said was exactly right. As isolated individuals, we stand no chance against the power of the Abyss. It took years' worth of scars and lots of unnecessary suffering for me to the Pyro Archon's plan will unite us as one. Only then will we have the power to defeat Tupac, a warrior from the people of the Springs. I fought against the Abyss during the invasion 500 years ago.
I've heard that name before. You were the
Since you were able to awaken my words from your ancient name, that means you have fully embodied the aspiration under the name Umoja. You shall unite the tribes and save Natlan from its impending...
Me?
As long as blood still runs through your veins, even the tiniest spark of steel against stone can ignite a flame. Its blaze will become one with our vision, even amid everlasting darkness. Our bonds remain eternal.
So that's what happened.
What do you mean? Did you just figure...
500 years ago, they foresaw the very crisis we're facing now. Efforts...
We can go over the details once we get back. We shouldn't linger here longer than we have to. I know bits and pieces, but I had...
This sounds like something that's going to need a lot of explaining. Let's... Okay, that should be enough.
I hear your voice, Kachina.
Great. Well then, I'm afraid it's time to say goodbye. I was going to ask why you bestowed an ancient name upon... I'll keep searching within myself for the answer. I'll never stop
You are already an outstanding child.
Huh?
You are all my most beloved children. It has always been my honor. Your ancient name is just that. A name. Much like your parents chose to name you Kachina. Focus on who you want to be. You are already worthy of your name. The story of your ancient name is for you to continue. Just like your parents. It gladdens me to see the Pyro Archon's plan move another step towards completion. But it is time for you. Go now, my children. Save...
I know we've never met before, Wayab, but thank you for encouraging Kachina.
Whoa! What's going on? An earthquake?
We're out of time.
It's the power of the Abyss. Quick, we need to run!
It's a Seelie! The Seelie opened the way for us!
You've done well. Now come home.
We're back! The Pyro Archon saved—
But she's not here. Yeah, didn't she say she used it all up?
She's still in the Speaker's Chamber. What we saw in the Night Kingdom was—
So you're saying her
every great display of power.
You must feel terrible, Kachina. Let's get back to the stadium. The Pyro Archon said she'd have a doctor waiting.
I recommend getting a full checkup, just to make sure no damage.
Paimon feels okay. What about you, Traveler? Right. You always seem to do pretty well against the—
Let's get going. We need to share what we learned in the night—
Right. The Wyatt mentioned something about the Pyro—
I'll let her explain everything. Every move we make from here on out will decide—
There's a lot less stuff.
It's good to see you all here in one piece. I know you must have a lot of questions, but let Koichi check you over first.
Thank goodness you made it back. I came here as soon as— Take a seat, everybody. I'll examine— All right, that should do it for now. But just to be— I have to say, though, I've never seen anyone react to the Abyss like you,
He always has been special like that. He can even purify its power. Wait, now that you mention it, Paimon doesn't think she's affected either.
Given the current situation, that ability will likely play a great role.
Of course. I still have patience to see, so—
Thank you, Koichi.
All right. We might not see eye to eye. Just give it time. I'm sure we'll figure—
Yeah.
All right. There's so much to discuss, I don't even know where to begin. You've seen it for yourselves now. I'll get straight to the point. Natlan is on the verge of destruction. It's very possible—
Huh? No.
That's right. But I've only ever disclosed that fact to the handful of people working with me to save this nation. Our looming destruction is not a recent development, but the inevitable conclusion of the disaster the Abyss initiated 500 years ago.
Mualani told us a little bit about...
500 years ago, all the nations of Teyvat were invaded by... Unlike the other nations, Natlan never had stable and deep-rooted ley lines, so we suffered the battle against the Abyss was exceedingly long and brutal. In the end, victory... Even then, it took centuries of solving the disasters caused by the Abyss to finally achieve the peace. And still, this is but a superficial victory. The forces of the Abyss have merely been driven back underground. Their threat to Natlan remains as real as ever.
I'd never have guessed.
The problems plaguing the Night Kingdom are all the more complicated because that realm is essentially functioning as Natlan's. Immediately after the war, our calculations estimated that we would have a maximum of 500 years before the Night Kingdom was completely lost to the Abyss. But at that time, we were a nation of the destitute. Our people no longer believed in victory. Our civilization was dying, our faith crumbling, and the line of power passed down from the Wayab near... If we didn't bring the nation back together, it would be foolish to even dream of defeating the Abyss. So, the Archon had a long and involved discussion with the heroes of each tribe, and finally came up with a 500-year-long plan to save Natlan.
So that's what happened. After finding Kachina, I encountered a strange figure who gave me a series of... Since the plan was mentioned in those memories, I guess I've been chosen to... But there's still something I don't understand. Those memories showed me the Pyro Archon from back then.
Huh? But that doesn't make any sense! The Pyro Archon is supposed to be human.
That's right. The hardest thing for humans to overcome has always been time. Or rather, the natural limitations of our lifespan. A god can extend a human's life by using a certain amount of divine power, or subjecting them to a curse. But, as we all know, Natlan doesn't have gods like that. We can only rely on our own. A human life is like a flame destined to be extinguished. 500 years ago, I placed my life within the sacred. Only by dying before my time could I have the chance to wake up again.
So, in other words, this is your second life?
Yes. We only managed to defeat the Abyss all those years ago because the tribes came together as one. If the Natlan of the future was to have a fighting chance, the Pyro Archons that came after the war had to rebuild the decimated tribes. The goal was to reunite the people and restore the strength of each tribe's Wayab. Once a tribe was back to its full strength, the tribe's Wayab would select a hero, indicating the tribe was once again ready for war. The Chosen would then stand by my side in defense of our nation, just like great heroes of old, 500 years ago.
So that means I'm one of the Chosen?
That's right. You bear the ancient name Umoja, the same one held by the hero from your tribe 500 years ago. It means unity. After your adventure in the Night Kingdom, I trust you've come to fully understand the meaning of that name.
So in other words, you always knew who the Wayab were going to pick from each tribe?
Yes. According to the plan, each tribe was supposed to have been fully restored by the time I awoke. But something went wrong along the way. The 6 heroes successfully inherited the ancient names from 500 years ago, but the intel regarding the plan wasn't passed on to them. Once again, it comes down to the deterioration of the Night Kingdom. Communication between the Sacred Flame and the Wayab has been blocked.
Just like how the Ode of Resurrection failed to bring Kachina back.
Exactly. It's just another tactic the Abyss is using against us. The Abyss may not possess intelligence, but its methods certainly aren't easy to counter. If we want to unblock that information from being passed on, my presence alone isn't enough. The ancient name-bearer must establish a greater connection to their name. So, I've tried my best to help them from the sidelines. Currently, Shilonen of the Children of Echoes, Kinich of the Scions of the Canopy, and Iansan of the Collective of Plenty have all been acknowledged by their names. During your adventure, you too earned the acknowledgement of your Wayab Mualani. In the process, you gained the memories stored within your name.
But we have less than a year!
Yes, but we have no choice. We cannot start the plan until all the heroes have— That's also why I haven't been able to take action despite the urgency.
But if you knew this whole time, why didn't you just tell me about my role in all this?
Perhaps, but the opposite could also be true. Knowing your destiny too early could mean failing to just like your determination to save Kachina, I hope your commitment to this endeavor comes from your own strength of will, rather—
So I suppose you're not going to tell us who the final two heroes are then?
That's right. Their time is yet to come. Putting pressure on them beforehand will only hinder their development. I can only trust in the judgment of the— I have never believed I could solve this crisis alone. In fact, it was precisely because I chose to trust and rely on others. Natlan's salvation lies not in its archon or any singular individual. But you're quite perceptive, aren't you? I thought I might get—
Huh? Oh, right! All the stuff you stole—
Even though I sacrificed my power, I still needed a contingency plan to ensure you would make it back from the Night Kingdom. After all, I was the one who allowed you to take that risk, and Mualani has an important role to— In addition to their sentimental value, the items I stored here held a much—
Fuel?
Yes. The stories embodied by those items are certainly important, but there's an even more significant trait they all share. Every item belonged to a hero of Nat. Over time, they became imbued with a certain amount of contending fire from being carried in battle. On their own, each item's power is limited, but together, their combined effect can prove quite useful in a dire situation. By burning those items, I was able to activate the contending fire stored within them to open the boundary between the two worlds. It was a rather crude approach, so all their power was depleted in an instant, as you can see.
But weren't they all precious treasures? What about their stories?
That's exactly why I dragged you all here. No matter what, I never wanted the Pyro Archon to have to use that power. Oh, I'm so sorry.
You have nothing to be sorry for. You all deserve my thanks, actually. If you hadn't saved the totem pole, that area of the Night Kingdom would have been forever lost to the Abyss. And then, it would only be a matter of time before the Children of Echoes was met with disaster. Besides, when those heroes entrusted their belongings to me, or the Pyro Archon of their time, it was out of a desire to contribute to Natlan's survival. If they knew those items helped save the present-day heroes of Natlan, they would not mourn their loss.
Even when you put it that way, I still feel bad.
There's no need. Remember what I told you about time? The people and the events of the past are never truly lost to us. We simply carry them with us in a different form. In that sense, we didn't lose anything at all. If you still have regrets, let them fuel your resolve in the battles to come. Your deeds will become new legends and nurture new forms of power just like the items once stored here.
Well, we'd still like to return the favor.
Well, if that's the case, just treat me to a drink sometime. Now that Kachina has returned, we can finally hold the victory feast and celebrate your team's triumph in the Night Warden Wars. And we could all use the rest, that's for sure. Plus, you'll be able to silence everyone who doubted you once and for all, Kachina.
Still, now that I know the danger we're facing, having a victory feast doesn't feel right.
Try not to let it get to you. It's important to stay calm. Worrying about it will only affect your judgment. All right. You should head out. I'll join you in a bit.
When I was young, I used to sit by the hot springs and listen to the stories of warriors from all over Natlan. They attract people from all walks of life. Friends come easy here, no matter what tribe you're from. The people of the springs have never claimed the hot springs as their own private property. They are there to bring all hot spring buddies together. It's been really nice, seeing the children of my tribe get older. It's helped me gradually understand the true value of the springs. I've witnessed their energy, their determination, their absolute passion for life. Even when they cause trouble, I never managed to hold on to my anger for long. It's unbelievable how quickly they worm their way back into my good graces. I'm certain Mualani will become a great warrior when she grows up. She possesses infinite potential. I can see it. One day, when I'm no longer in fighting form, I'll come here and tell stories to all the children, just like those warriors did for me. So, you better get busy, Pyro Archon, or I'll end up running out of stories.
Our nation is engulfed in darkness. Our tribes stand divided, and yet you promise victory in the distant future. The Abyss is a cunning enemy, one that I faced in battle many times. Were that not the case, I would never understand exercising this degree of caution. My rage will never know absolution. Then my power will no longer aid you in victory. But you came to me because you knew you could convince me with just a single sentence. I understand your choice. The heroes of today will forge the path ahead with blood and fire. Just remember to earn us the victory we are owed. Otherwise, rest assured, I'll find a way to collect the debt. For Natlan.
So, you're gonna head 500 years in the future to serve as the Pyro Archon again? But what about the you from right now? You're just gonna die?
You can't ask her those questions and expect her to answer, my dear. The decision is hers to make, and she deserves our support. We will do everything we can to rebuild the tribes. Don't you worry. Even across time, we will all do our part to fight for Natlan's future.
Yeah, Mom's right. We'll always believe in you, sis. Oh, seriously though, Dad should be here. Where is he?
I imagine he didn't know what to say, so he chose not to come at all. Don't take it to heart, my dear. That's just who he is. Just remember, no matter what happens in the future, we will always love you.
come find you one day. I know I can't live that long, but I'll think of something. There has to be a way for us to meet again one day. If there's an answer out there somewhere, I'm gonna find it. So, don't forget about me.
If that's your decision, then you have my full support, Archon.
May our children live to see such a lovely son.
For Natlan!
No one fights alone.
The rules are my legacy. They shall grant us the strength to overcome the next tragedy.
War forged the 6 tribes, taught us how to fight, instilled in us what it means to love.
Who will be the one to bring this to an end?
We are the inheritors of memory and legend. Those who grew alongside sun and wind. Those who forged our own destiny and future. That is Natlan's fire. The lifeblood of our nation.
You here for the victory feast too?
Oh, no. I knew Chaska would be here, so I just came to deliver some It's not that I don't want to celebrate Kachina and the others. I'm so glad she made it back. It's just... Well, I'll make things awkward if I'm...
Well, you two had a fight.
She didn't cause any trouble during your...
Yeah, she was super helpful. She gave us a lot of use...
That's good.
Is there a reason you asked? You were pretty outspoken when we first...
Maybe it seemed unreasonable, picking that fight with her before you left, but I did it for a reason. Her impulse to fight is extremely strong. Her mental strength helps her rein it in, but she still loses control sometimes. I had no idea what you might face in the Night Kingdom, so I didn't want to take any chances.
So what you're saying is...
Okay, so maybe it sounds a little stupid, but it works pretty well. It helps her keep her cool for a little while. Anyway, I'm just glad you were able to make it back safe and sound.
But do you really have to go that far? Can't you...
No way. Chaska never opens up about her own pain, especially to her family. She can't learn about this, or it'll be even harder. I appreciate the understanding, and don't worry. I'll find a way to help her ease this burden. Anyway, I need to get... Oh, and if you ever need a doctor, you know who to find.
Huh. Who would have thought there was a deeper reason behind their arguing? In the end, it's all the Abyss's fault. Paimon's had enough of them.
Let's give a huge round of applause to our brave young warrior, Kachina!
Woohoo! Well done, Kachina. Thank you, everyone.
I always knew you could do it. With so much potential at your age, you have a great...
You're one to talk. Don't think I didn't know you were the first person to abandon your team. I'll be dealing with you when we get back.
I had no choice. My friend invited me.
Oh, really? So you weren't just trying to get ahead and...
I wasn't, I swear. I just happened to find that bearer injured in the wild, so I stopped to bandage his wound. When he insisted on repaying the favor, what was I supposed to do? I'm just one person. I figured Kachina...
But the fact of the matter is that after your departure, everyone else started thinking about
I'm really sorry, Kachina. It was wrong of us.
It's amazing that you still made it all the way through to the Night Warden War.
So, what about you?
Our team captain drank too much the night before the competition and turned up late to the stadium on the day.
Serves you all right.
All right. There's no need to be like, dear friends. Firstly, I'm grateful to my friends and our great Archon for helping to bring me back. This traveler and his companion Paimon are some of the strongest people I've ever met. If they were allowed to participate, they've agreed to let me learn from them. With their help, I believe And let's not forget my good friends, Moalani, Chaska, Kanich, and Ayan-san. They all helped the Traveler and Paimon figure out a way to bring me back from the night. They too deserve to be called our heroes. So, please give...
Well said!
I'll drink to that.
How does it feel being...
To be honest, it's a bit over...
Well, you better get used to it. Next up, undefeated champion!
Hey, please don't make